House Republicans are blasting the White House and President Obama's campaign manager, accusing them of failing to live up to the administration's promise of transparency and maybe even hiding something. According to a new House Energy and Commerce Committee report, Obama campaign manager Jim Messina and other administration officials sent emails from private addresses, not their White House email accounts, and scheduled meetings away from the White House. In one email, an administration official tells an executive to meet him at a coffee shop to avoid showing up on a White House visitor list. So is the White House trying to avoid official records? ABC News senior Washington editor Rick Klein joins us. Rick, what were these emails about? To whom were they?
This was in the middle of the health care debate, and the White House is furiously cutting deals with all kinds of interest groups and trying to keep congressional coalitions on board. So these were emails to major stakeholders, pharma among others, big stakeholders in the healthcare law. They needed sign-on from these big groups. They needed them to stay on board, so they're cutting all these side deals, then going back to Capitol Hill, trying to balance all these competing coalitions at the same time that they're telling the public that, by the way, this is the most transparent bill process you've ever seen. At one point they said that they were going to have all of the conference committee negotiations on C-SPAN. So they needed to uphold that standard at the same time they were playing a lot of dirty politics.
All right, I always look at it in my own eyes. In my office, I've got 3 email accounts on my computer. I use whichever one comes up. You know, I mean, they're listed there. Sometimes I'm using my personal, sometimes I'm using Fox. There's nothing in my emails, though. Is it possible that, I mean, does it look deliberate, or does it look like Jim Messina does emails like I do?
I think that there may be some of both. In some cases, according to the White House, an aide like a Jim Messina would get an email from someone he knows independently who would send it to his private account, and then he would respond from that account, in some way preserving that record, CCing his official White House account or in some other way keeping it. In other cases, though, it seems like there may be a deliberate attempt here.
I guess the private meetings off campus.
Private meetings off campus, particularly the Republicans calling this the Caribou cover-up, because there's a Caribou coffee near the White House where they're having some key meetings with people. They know that the names of people that walk into Caribou coffee and spend a couple bucks on a cup of joe instead of going to the White House won't be on the visitor logs. The White House did make these visitor logs public, but of course that's now an incomplete picture of all the meetings that were going on in real time.
All right, here's